94, Bay Area's local news station.
2:03 on your Wednesday afternoon. We have some breaking news to tell you about out of Walnut Creek, where a grass fire is burning on Ignacio Valley Road near Oak Grove Road. CAL FIRE says the blaze has burned less than an acre but has a moderate rate of spread. Right now we're joined by Contra Costa Fire District Steve Hill. Steve, thanks so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you, Sanaz.
What can you tell us about the fire that's burning in Walnut Creek? It appears to be near a lot of homes and businesses. Is it a threat to any of the surrounding residents or businesses?
Well, it's an area that's been fire prone, and we typically have fires this time of year over there in that area. There are a lot of homes and businesses, and it's pretty early in this blaze to say exactly how it may end up. The name of the game for us is to get resources on fires while they're small as quickly as possible and keep them small. At this point, we're hopeful that that's what's going to happen in this case, but again, a little early to say.
We are seeing some winds around the Bay Area, and we're told that the particular fire has a moderate rate of spread. Is the outlook good with the way the fire is burning right now and the conditions and the number of crews that are fighting it?
Well, the conditions are, and this is probably no surprise to your viewers, but the conditions are extremely dangerous for fires like this. As a matter of fact, right now we've had prolonged dry weather, no appreciable precipitation in months and months, and none on the horizon. We've had unseasonably warm conditions for the most part, and we've had windy days, which unfortunately we have today. So when you put that all together, that spells high fire danger, and that applies equally across Contra Costa County as well as it does across the entire region. Very dangerous conditions out there.
I would assume that area, some roads are closed down, and you are asking people to avoid the area just to allow access to the fire for crews. Am I right?
That's absolutely right. One of the things that we always ask in a situation like this is to give our first responders unimpeded access, because that helps us get those resources on the fire as quickly as possible and as overwhelmingly as possible, which is the name of the game, as I said before, in terms of keeping the small fires small while they are.
So this is a developing story. We're going to keep our eye on it and keep our viewers updated on developments. But what we really wanted to talk to you about right now, before this fire even sparked, you know, we all know it feels like every year we talk about how it's the worst fire season, and every year it just seems to get worse, especially this year with the extreme drought. Contra Costa County Fire Protection District officials presented, I guess, some steps to the Contra Costa County Board of Supervisors, steps that the district officials are taking to minimize fire risk and damage. Talk to us about what those steps are.
Well, every year we start planning for the next fire weather. This year, for the first time, we refer to it as fire weather rather than the fire season, because it really is almost all around the calendar year. We get a couple 3 months break, it looks like, at this point, as fire seasons evolve. So we start that planning very early on. Each year, as the fire weather has evolved, we've worked to improve our arsenal of tools and resources we have to prevent fires in the first place, and when it's not possible to prevent them, to get on them quickly and with overwhelming response, as I mentioned before, to keep them small and reduce the likelihood of property damage. We've done a number of things this year. One of them is we've increased by 100% what we call our hand crew program. We call them Crew 12. We now have 2 complete fire control worker crews that are available throughout fire weather, 7 days a week. They're a tremendous resource in helping to mitigate the risk of fires before they occur and supporting our firefighters at the scene of grass and vegetation fires and, of course, wildfires. So they're a really important resource, and we've doubled it this year. We've also doubled our fire dozer capability. Fire bulldozers are very powerful firefighting tools, and very much like the hand crew workers, they allow us to mitigate the risk ahead of fires and to support our firefighters fighting fires, and in many cases help to keep our firefighters out of danger. So we've doubled our capability in terms of fire dozers to 2 this year. Late last year, in the waning weeks of the fire season, we brought online for the first time in Confire the aerial fire suppression using one of our two ambulance transport helicopters, Conair 1. It will now be available throughout the entire season to fight fires from the air. We've also increased our fleet of specialized wildland firefighting engines, adding several what we call Type 6s. They're small wildland firefighting engines that help us to get into areas that are difficult for our larger engines to get into. Those are just a few of the highlights. There's actually quite a lot that we've done in addition to that. But the important thing is that we like to say that we've done our planning. We believe that we create our own luck, and we've been fairly fortunate in the last year, a couple of years really, in Contra Costa County. We've done our planning. We ask that your viewers, our residents, do their planning as well to protect themselves, their families, and their properties from the threat of wildfire.
Now, there are certain fires we obviously can't prevent, you know, lightning strikes, if it's, you know, a force of nature somehow that causes a fire. But there's obviously fires that are caused either recklessly or intentionally. What are the statistics like when people talk about wildfires that are sparked, whether it's a human or it's some force of nature? What are we seeing more that are human caused or less?
Well, the sad fact is that virtually every fire in our region is created by some sort of human activity. We did have those fires last year in July, as I recall, that were sparked, quite a lot of them actually across the state, that were sparked by very unusual lightning strikes. That, according to the National Weather Service, was a 1 in 20-year event. It's fairly rare in this part of the country. So the sad reality is every single one of these fires just about is created by some type of human activity. I guess the good news of that, the sort of flip side of that coin, is that means because they're caused by human activity, they can actually be prevented. And so we put quite a lot of energy into communicating with our residents about the kinds of things they can do to, the very simple things really that they can do to help us prevent the fire before it starts in the first place.
And given those kind of figures and just that idea that most of the fires are human cause, education, and as you mentioned, communication of tips and tricks and things that people can do to minimize the risk of fire just around their own home can have great impacts in terms of trying to keep the fire numbers down, right?
Well, absolutely. There's very simple things that we ask, simple things that our residents can do. Carelessly discarded smoking materials are a common cause of unintentional fires, as are campfires, warming fires, cooking fires, any kind of outdoor fire, even barbecue grills. Using lawnmowers in the height of the day, especially during red flag weather, but just in the height of the day, can oftentimes spark fires. Dragging a chain behind a vehicle, pulling a trailer, can cause sparks that often cause fires along the sides of roads. Malfunctioning vehicles, exhaust systems can cause them as well. One of the biggest concerns that we have around this time of year, unfortunately, is the use of fireworks. Here in Contra Costa County, they are all illegal. In addition to them being illegal, they're unsafe. Whether they're allowed in different parts of the Bay Area where your viewers may be watching from, they are under these conditions anywhere in the Bay Area irresponsible and unsafe. But unfortunately, fireworks spark quite a lot of fires this time of year leading up to the Independence Day holiday. So we do ask our residents to do the things that they can do to help prevent fires in the first place. The next thing we ask them to do is to help us by preparing their properties to protect them from wildfire should one occur in their area. That's things like weed abatement and defensible space creation. And then we ask them to also think about the possibility of evacuation and have an evacuation plan. And lastly, if all else fails and a wildfire or a grass or vegetation fire does occur someplace, we ask that they report them immediately, because that's the one thing that allows us to get on them quickly with that overwhelming force that will help us to keep them small while they are and protect our residents' property and their lives, actually.
Well, as far as the fireworks go, I'm not sure if it's good news or bad news for the market, but it turns out the fireworks, there's a bit of a shortage of them this year, which may impact 4th of July celebrations. So if nothing else, it's good news, at least in the world of wildfire danger. Steve, is there anything else you want to kind of leave our viewers with as we wrap up?
I would say if there's one thing that they pay attention to in this conversation we've had is we have on our website at Confire, it's cccfpd.org, cccfpd.org. We have a really great and comprehensive residence guide to wildfire preparation and evacuation. It's written for Contra Costa residents, but really the basics of it apply to anyone across the region and beyond. And I would encourage all of your viewers to go to that website, take a look at what they can be doing now to protect their families, their homes, the rest of their property, their neighbors, and what they can be doing to plan for the possibility of evacuation should that be necessary, and a lot of other things related to natural disasters that might occur. I think it would be it's a very helpful guide, and it's available in English and Spanish on our website.
And we'll have that resource on our website at cronford.com. Well, Steve Hill from the Contra Costa County Fire Protection District, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Now to an